got the newest member of the Boston Celtics, Danilo Gallinari. How you doing, my friend?
Everything good, you?
Good. Apologies for not having him live and direct in front of you, but he is doing what we all should be doing this time of year, enjoying the off season. I know he's on the road, and now you're in Italy right now, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And I understand that you've got some pretty big life-changing events coming up very soon. I hear you're getting married. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. In a couple of days.
Wow!
Yes, congrats!
Wow,
congratulations.
We are. I'm glad you took time out to talk to us. Although I must admit, Danilo, I thought we would be having this conversation sooner because the Celtics, and you're probably aware of this, they've had interest in you for quite a while. And I'm just curious, how close have you come in the past to becoming a Celtic? I mean, was it ever something that you thought was about to happen that maybe just fell apart at the last minute?
No, we were close a couple of times since Brad took over as a head coach years ago. We've always been in touch, and so we were close a couple of times, but finally we were able to make it happen.
Danilo, in your introductory press conference, you actually talked about how your father had this admiration for Larry Bird. How much of your game is modeled up after him, including the trash talking?
I think he was a better trash talker than me, but I watched a lot of videos of him since I was a little kid, and so I always tried to do the things that he was doing on the court, and so he's always been an idol for my dad and also for me.
Danilo, what's been the key? I mean, it seems like such a long time ago that you started with the New York Knicks and you were kind of the darling of New York during your first few years. What's been the key to your staying power in the NBA to play until your age 33? Because that's not easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. But is take care of your body first. Your body is what you use to do your job every day. And so you need to take care of that. And then, of course, when, you're not young for forever. And so you need to evolve your game and study your game and understand where you can be effective, even if you cannot jump around like you used to.
And for you, Danilo, and I don't think most people realize this, you've been in the league for more than a decade. And correct me if I'm wrong in this, but this was the first time you actually had to pick the team that you would play for, because you've been involved in trades up to this point when you've switched teams, correct?
I had the chance to pick the team another time when I went to LA. So this is the second time.
What was it about Boston that made this the place that you felt you could continue your career at this point?
I think they have a young group, a talented young group, but with a lot of experience already. They've been to the playoff almost every year for the past few years, and especially what they did last year. And so I think that is a group that can do some damage in the future. And so that was the main goal for me. And so I think that being part of this, and especially the city, the franchise, the history, a lot of reasons.
From what you've seen, especially from their last playoff run, how do you see yourself fitting into the Celtics squad?
I think I can help a lot just by doing what I've been doing for all these years. They did a great job last year, but I think that I can help, and I'm a versatile player, so I can play in any kind of defense, offense, any kind of system. And so coming from the bench, I think that I can help them a lot.
Like you were on that team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple years ago in Atlanta. Last year was supposed to be kind of, you're going to build on that and come back and maybe make a finals run. It didn't quite work out. Can you, it seems like you can pass along to your new teammates, like, hey, just because you guys made it far doesn't mean you're going to do it the next year. You got to work even harder. What did you take away from last year in comparison to the year before when you guys had that magical season?
I think that, it's like you said, it's never easy to do the same thing that you did the year before. And once you're there, you need to, use the chance that you got to once you're there and win it. and win that game and win that series. And so you cannot think that, okay, we didn't do it this year, we're going to do it next year for sure. It doesn't work like that in the NBA. And so you need to, utilize every chance that you got.
When you were watching the Boston Celtics, like all of us were just kind of watching their journey last year and getting all the way to the NBA Finals, how much did that journey influence your decision to sign with Boston? Because you had a number of options in addition to the Boston Celtics to choose from.
Yeah. I mean, that helped for sure in the choice. But again, when you think about the Celtics, and you think about the history of the franchise and what they're all about, when you have the chance to be picked by a franchise that is all about, winning and do the things the right way and play the right way, that's already a lot.
You mentioned that you are in your home country of Italy, which is known for its amazing food. I don't know if you've heard about the Boston's North End. I don't know if it compares, but what would you say is your favorite Italian dish?
No, it's pretty good. The North End is pretty good. That's where I go to dinner every time I go to Boston, so I know the area very well.
Okay, Danilo approved.
but yeah, I approve. But I don't have a favorite spot now because I change the restaurant every time. I try to to find new spots. But in general, the North End is pretty good.
We got to get a segment, Dinner with Danilo. We got to make that happen when you get here.
I like that. Dinner
with Danilo. We got to get involved with that for sure.
Yeah, that would be easy to do.
Danilo, what was the I want to ask you two things. What was the team the Olympic experience like last year? Did you get to know any of the guys playing for Team Italy? You were kind of like you came off the bench. You were kind of like the gunner for Team Italy. And I got a good chance to watch Simone, who obviously just signed with the Utah Jazz, one of your teammates who had been kind of a guy, I thought he was one of the best players in Tokyo. So what was your experience like for Team Italy? Did you get to know any of the players on Team USA or any of your new teammates during that experience? And can you tell us more about Simone and what kind of player he is? Because I said, very impressed with him last year in Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience for us. The Olympics is something that you dream of when you are a little kid. And so it was a dream come true for me. It was my first one. I knew even if it was a young group of guys, I knew the guys already. And Simone is a great guy and he's a very good player. He's been playing great basketball for the past few seasons in the EuroLeague. And I'm sure that he's gonna be able to be himself and to do what he does even in the NBA. I'm very excited for him. Of course, it's a dream come true for him too. And I'm looking forward to play with him again this summer for the European Championship and see what we can do.
Do you think your success kind of led to teams being interested in him? He's kind of maybe a younger version of that you were, because he's 26.
Yeah, he plays the three, and he's the same position that I played for most of my years in my pro career. So he's I think he's ready for the NBA. He has an NBA body. I think he can play on the offensive end and defensive end, also on smaller guys. And like I said, I'm excited for him. It's not going to be an easy process, but I think he has the experience in basketball to be able to do it and establish himself.
You had just touched on it a second ago about just kind of the position that you played for the bulk of your career in the NBA. And you know this, with the way the NBA has changed, going with more smaller lineups, a lot of folks who maybe played the three are now playing the 4 and the 5. Have the Celtics given you an indication of whether you'll be playing maybe a position up, like maybe playing some center possibly, which I know is something that you really haven't done much of, if at all, in your career up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, my position is going to be the 4, backup 4, but whenever needs to be done, I'll do it. Like I said, you guys know I can play different positions. Of course, I never played the 5, but if it's something that it needs to be played, I'll play, no problem. Whatever needs to be done, I'll be there to do it.
That being said, when you signed with Boston, did you know any of the players that are currently on the roster? Did you overlap with Al?
I knew Al before. We spent a couple of summers together traveling with the NBA, so I knew him. But not the other player, just by playing against them.
Have you guys talked to any of them yet?
Yeah, I talked to some of them already.
Nice.
You know, what's the key to maintaining the ability to score in this league? You can shoot above smaller defenders. You don't have the athleticism. You don't have the great athleticism, but it seems like you're easily able to get your shot off. How have you used your body and it seems like your skill set and your experience to be able to still score at a high level?
I think that's when you evolve your game, and you, of course, cannot do that much with your athleticism, but you can use your length and your skills. That's what I've been doing all my career. Now I just, got to do it a little more.
What's for you, Danilo? Because there was a period in your career where you just had a rash of bad luck with injuries, but you've been able to get past that and it not become an issue for you going forward. What are some of the things you've done to just maintain your body and stay in good health that have allowed you to stay on the floor and be impactful?
I think that especially the summer work and the work that you put in the summer to prepare yourself for the season, I think that's key. And that's something that I'll be really doing and focusing on is that because then during the season you have to maintain, you don't have the chance to work that much on the stuff that you do on your body, but in the summer is key. And so, with the program you with your team, your PTs and strength coach, that's what I've been doing a lot.
Gary kind of touched on this a little bit, but what do you think you bring from a veteran leadership standpoint to this team that is still very young?
I think just, mental toughness and experience.
Well, what kind of things are you working on this summer? I mean, I know obviously you're always evolving your game, always working on things. What is a summer like this like when you get to a new team? Obviously you're getting married too, so you got to take a honeymoon and take some time off. But what is it like that you feel like, okay, this is what I want to work on this summer?
Just the same things that I'll be working on every summer, especially making sure that my body is going to be ready for the next season.
And Gary had just touched on it about getting married. And before we let you out of here, Danilo, I want to play just a quick, I got one question about the wedding, and it's kind of a game-ish question because we like to play games on here.
We do.
All right. Are you ready? I got a question for you. You ready?
Put him on the hot seat.
He has to be. If you really care about Danilo Gallinari and his new bride, the one wedding gift you should not give us is blank. What would that be?
Oh, that's a great question. I have no idea. I think I need my wife's opinion on that one. I don't know.
That is the correct answer. That is the correct. See,
you passed.
Gary, he has already figured out the cheat code.
He's ready.
Defer to the missus.